Nick speaking, and welcome to this video. Right, today we're looking at warp spiders, second fast attack choice. Now again, mine aren't painted, so apologies for that if you only look at painted models, because I haven't got around to it yet. The main reason for that, my excuse, is that I basically pretty much have all the Eldar models, but I started off painting the Sam Hun styled models. Moved on to my Mekhdar, and now in 6th edition I'm going on to Footdar, so I am now in the progress of painting all my foot stuff, so that's why they're not painted. From a model point of view, the warp spiders are actually quite old minis now. In the previous codex they weren't changed, so they were the original models from the codex before that. They still look pretty good, maybe not quite so dynamic as maybe they should be or could be with the new plastic kit, which again, a bit like Wraithguard, I would be hoping that they would come in a plastic kit. They still look pretty awesome. They do have a slight problem where they're fairly top heavy, so what I plan to do is just put some metal and green stuff in the back just to stop them from going forward. I know there's a few options you can use, like metal washers and stuff. This is my XR. I actually have a penny on his base. I've got quite a cool pose actually on him. I've got him standing on an orc head, because I always play against orcs generally. And just twisted his weapons around and stuff. You only get one option. Let's carry on with the XR. You only get one option within the pack, but there are 3 different things that you can have. So yeah, let's start with the XR. So first up, additional death spinner. That's well worth having here. Gives you basically 4 shots as opposed to 2 shots, and of course he's got a better ballistic skill than these guys, so well worth it. You could go for the rifle, but it's only 1 shot, even though it's AP1 18 inches as opposed to 12 inches. I think the dual spinners are the way to go. And power blades, well, almost a definite really. Is the only power weapon in the unit. I mean, he's never going to do a huge amount. He's still strength 3, but you know, a little bit of power weapon threat is always useful, really. So yeah, I haven't magnetised mine because I only ever use this combination, really, and that's probably why Games Workshop don't really give you the other options. I think everyone's going to use this combo. So yeah, that's how I'd use him. Carry on with the XR. There's Surprise Assault, which is basically an obsolete thing that lets you deep strike always, but you can do that anyway because they have jump packs. That's what's on the back of here. So yeah, they've got jump packs. The other one would be Withdraw. Basically, it's hit and run. This time, unlike Shining Spears, it's only 15 points, and I would say because you've potentially got, well, it depends really. If you're using these in a big unit, it's well worth having the Withdraw. Because you've got a good chance of being around, and that will let you come out of the combat and will let you reuse their guns. They're a shooting unit after all. So yeah, I would say yes. Maybe if you're using them in small squads of 5, then I would say probably it's not worth the 15 points. The chance of once you get into assault, you're going to die anyway. So depends on how many you have in the unit really. So let's have a look at the unit. So yes, they have these strength 6 guns. They're not very good at assault. They do have an armour save of a 3+, which is pretty rare for Eldar. So very nice to have a 3+ armour save, which makes these guys fairly viable to have them on foot, in a large unit, of course. The idea of these guys is to get up close and personal, and there's 2 ways of doing that. Yeah, a big unit with their jump packs. And they also allow you the jump pack on here, the jump generator, lets you move 2d6 inches in the assault phase as well. So you've got 12-inch movement, 2d6 inches if you're not going to assault. So you've got a fast using movement unit, which is pretty good for flanking. Get these flanking down the side, bit of distraction from your main force, and they can be quite useful. Of course, there is one mission where they will become scoring as well, so could be quite useful from that point of view. I have tried running them on foot, and well, potentially it could be because I haven't had the right units to back them up, but they've never been that successful for me, having a unit of 10 on foot. Although they have that 3+ save, they're not actually that great, because 3+ isn't actually that great. It's very easy to throw those 1s and 2s, and yeah, I personally, maybe I probably just put too much emphasis on their 3+ save and maybe risked them too much, putting them in the open and stuff. But I think if you use them a bit more cautiously, like I said, having them flanking and things like that, just going down the flanks, obviously not flanking off the side, but running down the flanks with the jump generators, getting close, getting behind tanks, getting down to those long fangs, that type of scenario, rather than pushing them up front downfield, because their 3+ save isn't that amazing. I'm any Marine player will tell you that, you know, a squad of 10 Marines can go down quite easily to torrent the fire. From there on, once I didn't have much success with these on foot in squads of 10, is I moved them down to squads of 5, and in that case I had much more success, especially deep striking them. So this is how I would use them. A small unit of 5, deep striking. Actually, you've got quite a lot of power here. If you can deep strike and get within 12 inches, you've got 2, 4, 6, 8, 12 shots, and he's ballistic skill 5, remember, so he'd be hitting on 2s. So you've got 12 strength 6 shots, hitting on 3s and hitting on 2s. So that's pretty useful. You could, you know, potentially get behind that pesky whirlwind, or well, if people play whirlwinds, I know my buddy does. But yeah, you know, you can target certain units with these. I mean, they're not going to come down and take out massive squaddy Terminators, but they can certainly pick a target and be fairly useful, fairly cheap for a small unit of 5. I think I haven't got the exact figure, but I think it's about 130, 40 points, something like that. Yeah, 22 points each. So yeah, they're fairly useful for that, and I would actually sometimes run 2 units of these, along with potentially an autarch. Again, we'll talk about autarchs later, but an autarch with a warp generator pack can be very useful in these guys. So yeah, that's how I would use them. Don't think I've got anything else to say. Pretty much it. Hope you enjoyed this video, and we're going to move on to the next fast attack unit, which I have actually painted, believe it or not.